The 3 little sentences that will get you through life. Number 1, cover for me. Number 2, oh, good idea, boss. Number 3, it was like that when I got here.
So, there's something that I've been wondering lately, and I've been wondering, have I been feeding my son enough pancakes? Now, this is obviously a metaphor. It comes from Hellboy. There is a short Hellboy story about the first time when Hellboy, as a young child, eats pancakes for the first time. I can't remember exactly who serves him the pancakes, but once he eats them and he likes them, it cuts to the demons in hell lamenting, "Oh, we've lost him. He has tasted pancakes. He is lost to the human world forever, and we will never have him back." Now, what made me think about this, in part, is because I'm an old dad. I had my son when I was almost 40 years of age. So nearly an entire other generation passed by before I had my kid. And he, and everything about the way the world is, everything about discipline, everything about the way you should raise a child is very, very different than it was when I was being raised myself. So I wonder sometimes, am I doing things that would help foster confidence and intellect and health and all of the things that I wonder about? But in particular, I find myself wondering, especially in a time right now when a lot of young men are becoming radicalized by things that they see online because they lack a place to fit in, because they lack a guiding moral center or something. They become horrible, horrible people, or at least people who will spout and do horrible ideas and horrible acts because they perhaps were not fed enough pancakes. There's been a lot of chatter lately on the internet about, is Superman woke? And things of that nature, where that's an entire discussion for another time, but we all can agree on one thing, that Superman is a good person. He has a strong moral center, a sense of right and wrong, whether or not this lawful good sensibility jives with your personal tastes in what you want in your entertainment and in your superheroes is one thing, but his lawful good alignment is definitely something that we have all seen through his words, his actions, going back thousands, literal thousands of issues of comic books, radio shows, episodes of TV, movies, and so on. The reason why Superman is a good person is because he landed basically in the laps of John and Martha Kent. They raised him with a certain set of values. They taught him what he should be doing with his powers and, guided him along the way. And he became Superman rather than some sort of horrible villain such as Ultraman or whatever. Trying to think of some other ersatz Superman. Not the Sentry. His problems are that he's crazy, not because he's bad. Anyway, we know from various what-if comic book stories, like Red Sun, if he had been raised by the Kremlin, landing in Soviet Russia instead of Kansas, he would have turned out completely different. The influences that Martha and John Kent had on Kal-El, and the influence that Professor Brutenholm had on Hellboy, made them who they are. Hellboy is a literal demon from hell, summoned by Nazis to smite the Allied powers and crush them and bring them under control of the Fuhrer, but he did not do that because he was raised by a completely different set of people. So I wonder, having come into the parenting game relatively late in life and seeing what happens firsthand if somebody does not have a guiding set of principles, I'm forced to wonder, am I feeding my son enough pancakes? In summary, there may be no way of knowing for certain if I have fed my son sufficient pancakes until I look at the result. I guess it's like putting glaze on pottery. You don't know what you have until it comes out of the kiln. And I know that a lot of my son's moral tests aren't going to happen now in his childhood. Those are going to be waiting for him later in his adolescence and his young adulthood. So I suppose I just have to wait and see. Did I get Clark Kent or did I get the Red Sun? Did I get Hellboy or did I get conundrums? Now, as a side note, I've actually discussed this topic with my wife before. She assures me that by virtue of the fact that I'm even considering this question, that I'm giving it thought and that it does weigh on me, that it does have some gravity, that I'm going to be doing a better job than some random dad out there who doesn't even bother asking the question and doesn't really care about the answer. I suppose I've got that going for me, but I wish I could be a little bit more assured myself. Well, I guess that's it for now. In closing, thank you for listening to Jason talk about stuff. So here's an assortment of ridiculous memes.